What's going on, Stim Junkies? High Stim Ace here. Hope you guys are having an amazing weekend thus far. If you haven't seen it yet, I released 2 of my top 9 lists for 2024. I'm doing a ranking of all the hottest supplements of 2024. I'm going to link the 2 videos in the comment down below and pin it so you guys can check it out. We did the top 10 daily drivers as well as the top 10 proteins of 2024 with 7 more videos to come. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. All right, guys, in case you can't tell, the vibe is a little bit different here today. I'm a little bit more laid back. I'm chilling. I got my Snoopy bathrobe going. I'm about to take a nice warm shower and hit the sack. It is Friday night right now. Just got back from a crazy workout, hitting chest, triceps with a little bit of biceps. Really wore myself down today, and it was freezing outside. Came home, had to warm the body back up, and I really need a good, restful night of meaningful sleep, something that's really going to knock me out and essentially put me in a coma for a good 8.5 hours, which for me is considered a lot. I usually sleep 6 to 6.5 hours on most days, but on Fridays, I like taking something really good, something special with a little bit of extra in there to really knock me out and to kind of reset my adrenal system, to really reset those receptors and allow me to fully invest myself in High Stim Saturday and High Stim Sunday, which incidentally are tomorrow and the day after that. So with that in mind, today, I have the pleasure and honor to be reviewing a top sleep aid from my good friends over at Blackstone Labs. And what we're going to be discussing today on this very review is the Anesthetized sleep aid from Blackstone Labs. And this right here is something that you're not going to see everywhere. This is a product that's a little bit difficult to get. I'm going to tell you in the end of the video where you can pick this one up with a discount code to save a little bit of money, to make it a little easier on your wallet. I know it's the holiday season right now. A lot of you guys are getting gifts for your friends, family, loved ones, and it can be a little bit difficult right now. So don't worry, guys. High Stim Ace has the hookup for you, and I'm going to keep an eye out for you guys because I always do that. This is a crazy product, guys. I'm going to tell you this right off the bat before we even get to the label, the effect section. This here is in a league of its own. This is really, really special, and I can't wait to share my experience with you guys. I've been running this one for a very long time. This here is the pineapple flavor. This is actually the first one they sent my way a little while ago, maybe about a month and a half ago. They sent this one my way for review, and the tub is about maybe 2/3 empty. There's a couple of servings left in here. I've been utilizing this one a lot. And then later on, about maybe 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, Blackstone Labs was kind enough to send me their 2 newest flavors, being the snow cone flavor. As you can tell, I've opened this one up already because I did want to try out the new flavor, give you guys a little bit of comparison. And they also sent their fruit punch flavor, another new flavor that was previously unavailable. This one is still sealed, and I'm going to keep it sealed for the time being, at least until I finish the pineapple one, and then maybe I can go ahead and open this one. But I figured 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So I'll give you guys the flavor breakdown and tell you everything you need to know about this product here. So without further ado, let's roll that intro and let's get to it. Gotta let it burn. All right, guys, so if you have been watching the channel for a while, for at least a couple of months, you know that High Stim Ace already reviewed his share of different types of sleep aids, whether it's phenibut-based sleep aids, which you should only really be using once, twice a week tops, or some other types of sleep aids, maybe ones that have melatonin, quote-unquote daily driver sleep aids, for lack of a better term. But I've reviewed my share of them, and there is going to be a top sleep aid list coming up. Big spoiler there, but you guys pretty much assumed it, right? So that video will be dropping at some point this month, but I did want to review this one before making that finalized list because this one definitely merits its own review. Now, this one is really, really unique. This is a phenibut-based sleep aid, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat that you shouldn't use phenibut more than twice a week, and even then, I would say once a week is better. I usually run my phenibut sleep aids on Friday night because I can sleep in. I don't have to wake up at 6:45 in the morning. And for me, it's a perfect opportunity to reset my adrenal system and really let my body almost reset itself, get in a good night's sleep, and then High Stim Saturday, High Stim Sunday, I'm ready to go. I'm off the races, right? But this isn't something I would use during the week where I'm only getting 6 hours of sleep. We're going to talk about all that, guys. Before we get into that, before we even get into the label, let's discuss the flavors because, like I said earlier, there are 3 flavors right now. You got the pineapple, you got the snow cone, right? The one that I have right over here, snow cone flavor. This is the pineapple, and you do also have the fruit punch, which I still am keeping sealed, and I will keep it sealed for a little while. But this here The flavors are actually very, very similar. The two that I got to try, the pineapple one tastes like pineapple, and the snow cone one actually almost tastes like pineapple as well. It's really weird. I thought the snow cone would have more of a snow cone kind of flavor, but the flavors are very, very similar. Whatever the manufacturing process is to create these flavors, obviously there's little differences between the two, but not so much. So what I'm trying to say is that no matter which flavor you go with, they're both decent flavors. They're not super delicious. It's not something you're going to be wanting to sip on the beach with a little umbrella and a straw in your cup, but they're more than tolerable. I've had my share of sleep aids that were downright nasty. These are not nasty. They're solid, they're serviceable, and they go down pretty easy for the most part. A little bit of an aftertaste, but nothing too crazy. I personally like the pineapple one. It has a little bit more of a sweetness to it, but it has a nice natural pineapple kind of flavor, masking whatever else is in there. So if I had to pick, if it was up to High Stim Ace, I'd go with the pineapple one. The snow cone one is pretty decent as well. And I would assume that the fruit punch is good too. I haven't tried that one, but those two, solid. You can't go wrong with it. It's not a bad flavor. Now, with that being said, guys, let's talk about the label here, okay? We're going to discuss this label, and I'll tell you what I think. All right, guys, so what I like about this right off the bat is that you're getting 25 servings, which is absolutely incredible, and no half scoop, one scoop kind of nonsense here. One scoop is a serving, and 11 grams comes in at the full serving. And I'm going to tell you afterwards by the effect section if I recommend starting off with one scoop or maybe a little bit less. Stay tuned, guys, because we're going to discuss it. We begin with gamma aminobutyric acid at 3 grams. That is GABA, and that is the main ingredient in pretty much every sleep aid you're going to get in this day and age, whether it's phenibut-based or one without phenibut. GABA is a really unique ingredient, really promotes a relaxation within your body and contributes to that feeling of sleepiness, relaxation, and actually gets you ready to hit the sack. But I've mentioned in numerous other sleep aid reviews that GABA, if dosed at more than 2.5 grams, if you're sensitive to it, like I happen to be, it can kind of cause a shortness of breath when you're laying down in bed, and it can create this warmness in your chest, a little bit of tightness. And if you're not used to that, then you could start panicking, and inadvertently, it will have the opposite effect of what you want from a sleep aid. You want to relax, you want to chill out and pass out. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat that 3 grams is considered a large dose. I'm going to tell you whether it does what I said earlier that it might do or not, because each product works a little bit differently. I've had sleep aids with 2 grams that really gave me that tightness in the chest, and then I had some that didn't do that. So I'll tell you about this in just one moment. But before that, we're going to finish the rest of this label. We got L-taurine at 2.2 grams, a nice jack of all trades, all-round kind of ingredient. So I don't really see that in sleep aids often. It's an interesting inclusion. It's a little bit different, but I'm with it. If they have a formula on here that they claim they do, and they say it comes together really well, then, you know, they got to figure it out. Now, the next ingredient, and this is really the main one you're getting in here, is phenibut at 1.8 grams. And it's interesting because when I look at the other tub they sent to me here, it doesn't list it as phenibut. It actually lists it as 4-amino-3 phenylbutyric acid. It's the same label. It's the exact same label for the two of them, but maybe they had a reason to change the wording. But I find that to be very interesting. Keep in mind the pineapple one, this was from the first batch that they relaunched. And then once they released the 2 new flavors, they sent me from that second batch, but they both hit exactly the same. N-acetyl L-tyrosine comes in next at 500 milligrams, which is a focus ingredient. And it wasn't until I tried a sleep aid from Huge Supplements that I saw that in the label. A lot of ingredients aren't really there to help with focus. They're supposed to help with relaxation and reducing cortisol, stress levels, and maybe kind of boost those dopamine receptors a little bit to essentially get you in a relaxed state of mind where you're ready to go to sleep and have a good, restful nights of sleep. So tyrosine is an interesting addition. I've only seen it in like 1 or 2 other sleep aids. It's interesting, but I did hear from numerous people that there are benefits to putting tyrosine in a sleep aid. So take that for what it's worth. We got valerian root extract coming in at 250 milligrams. That is going to help promote relaxation and thus leading you to a better night's sleep, hopefully. And lastly, we got Mucuna pereira, also known as L-dopa, at 100 milligrams, a nice nootropic that I do see in some pre-workouts that are more nootropic focused, but it can definitely also be used to put you in a nice, relaxed state of being and give you a little bit almost of a buzz to transition into that good night's sleep that you're achieving, that you're trying to achieve. Before High Stim Ace breaks down my experience running the anesthetized sleep aid over the past 2 months, Don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or somebody who desperately needs a good night's sleep. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. If anything, subscribe to the channel because High Stim Ace is coming on here with my Snoopy robe and nothing else. All right, guys, what does High Stim Ace think of the anesthetized sleep aid? This here, the one I'm holding in my hands, is the snow cone flavor. I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I was holding the pineapple one before, but that doesn't matter, guys. This here is an example of less is more because you got 6 ingredients on here, the emphasis being on the GABA at that really high 3-gram dose, and then you got the phenibut coming in at 1.8 grams, which, by the way, is the second highest dose in any sleep aid. The first one comes in from Somatomax from High Tech Pharma. That one comes in at about, I think it's 2.5 to 3 grams. There isn't actually an exact dosage because it's a proprietary label, but people that are on the inside have told me that it's 2.5 to 3 grams. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I hate Somatomax with an absolute passion. I know people swear by it, people love it. I had nothing but bad experiences with it both times I took it, at half a dose and at the full dose. That thing literally made me sick. I felt drugged up and I threw up the next day and I was off for the entire day. I was completely out of it. I felt like I was hungover for 24 hours. It was the worst experience of my life. But this here, I was initially a little bit worried because 1.8 grams of phenibut is a lot. And if you guys don't know about phenibut, it's a research chemical that can be addictive if abused. So going back to my original points, you guys watching this channel, I'm assuming you're all adults, you're all responsible, and you're all using these products as intended. No one should be abusing pre-workouts or any other products that I review here on the channel. I'm a mature adult and I'm expecting you guys are as well. But with that being said, this here, despite it having 3 grams of that GABA and 1.8 grams of the phenibut, this is a smooth, amazing kind of sleep aid. It's something in its own class, and it really outclasses a lot of other sleep aids that have phenibut in it. My favorite phenibut sleep aid up until recently was the Ninja Zen because that one only had 750 milligrams, which is considered a lower dose, a beginner-friendly dose, if you will. And I've had nothing but good experiences with that sleep aid. Definitely one of the best sleep aids, and you best believe it's going to be on the list. But this one here, when it comes to something you want to use once a week, like I said, on Friday night, when you don't have work the next day and you could sleep in a little bit, and you really want to take something to completely knock you out and reset your entire adrenal system, you cannot beat the anesthetized sleep aid. This is in a league of its own. It outclasses pretty much every other phenibut aid that I've ever used. And despite the fact that it has 1.8, which is a big amount, I could take the full scoop and have no issues whatsoever. Now, that is me. That is High Stim Ace. You should not do that if you're not experienced with phenibut. If you've dabbled with other phenibut-based sleep aids such as Ninja Zen or the old version of Crash from Vices and Vibes, the one that had the phenibut in there at 1 gram, if you're somewhat experienced with phenibut, you can take it at the full dose and you're not going to have an issue. But if this is your first time dabbling with this ingredient, start with half a dose. The full serving size is 11 grams. Start with 5.5 and do that to assess your tolerance. If you're not used to phenibut, then it can actually have an adverse effect on you where you might feel a little bit groggy when you wake up and have a lightheadedness, and you might even be nauseated, and you don't want that, okay? So I'm telling you right now, if you've never tried phenibut before, do not take this at the full dose the first time. Try it at half, see how it works. If you have no issues, go up to 3/4, take it at about 7.5, 8 grams. If you have no issues, then take the full dose. In my opinion, I like this the most at 3/4 of a scoop, works best for me. It takes this one about an hour to really start getting to its full potential. You're going to feel it within 30, 35 minutes. You're going to feel a little lightheadedness. That L-Dopa is going to kick in. You're going to have a little bit of a nice mood elevation, not the kind of mood elevation you get with a pre-workout where you're energized and you're psyched and you're hyped. A different type of mood elevation, kind of like a relaxing mood elevation, like you're drinking a good sleepy time kind of tea, but much stronger, obviously, than that, because you are taking some research chemicals in here. The GABA, I'm happy to say, does not cause the tightness in the chest. You're going to feel a little bit of a warmness in your core, and it's going to spread to the rest of your body, but not an uncomfortable kind of sensation, not to the point where you're feeling suffocated like I did with certain other sleep aids that did have those high amounts of GABA. So to me, it was really, really good, but I know people that have tried this at the full dose and it was too much for them. So again, to reiterate for the final time, if this is your first time taking a phenibut sleep aid, do not take it at the full dose. Half 3/4, full dose. That's how you should build up. And believe me, you guys are going to like this one. I do like this at the full dose. Like I said, Friday night, once a week. You're going to feel it within 30, 35 minutes, but really at the hour mark is really when you're going to start feeling floaty, nice, relaxed, a little groggy, and your head's going to hit the pillow, and you're going to transition over into a good night's sleep, going into La La Land. You're going to be wearing your bathrobe and you're going to be out cold, or your jammies, whatever it is, guys. But this one here is a really good one, and I love the minimalist approach. No negative side effects for me. I wake up the next morning feeling refreshed, feeling good, but this one's really, really in a league of its own. I really like this one a lot, and it's just a bonus that the flavors are decent, because some of the other phenibut sleep aids can be pretty gnarly. Not gonna lie, the original Crash formula was really, really difficult to get down. This one here, these two that I tried, they're both winners, and I'm sure that the punch flavor is really good as well. And overall, very, very good experience. Can't go wrong with it. You're going to take it Friday night or Saturday night. Get your 8.5 hours of sleep. Don't take this on a day where you know you're only going to get 5.5, 6.5 hours of sleep. It's not worth it. You really want to ride this one out and utilize it to its full potential. You're going to wake up the next morning feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to take on the day and hopefully crush that High Stim Saturday and High Stim Sunday workout. You can pick up the Anesthetized sleep aid over at NutriCartel.com, as well as directly from Blackstone Labs. I'm going to link both links down below. I'm going to pin the comment with a discount code to save you guys some money and help you get the good night's sleep that you deserve. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. As always, don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, share the channel, all that fun stuff. I still got a bunch more videos coming, the top lists of 2024, so definitely stick around for that. There's a lot of good ones coming, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. Thank you once again, and I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High Stim Ace, signing off.